is something that is very intangible and difficult to quantify, but we all understand what it means to trust someone. We also know what it feels like to misplace our trust and to feel duped. There's a fable about a frog and a scorpion. One day a scorpion was sitting on the riverbank and wanted to get to the other side. A frog swam up and the scorpion asked him to carry him to the other side since he was unable to swim. Well, the frog wasn't stupid. He didn't trust the scorpion because he was afraid that the scorpion would sting him. The scorpion laughed at the thought and explained that if he stung the frog while they were in the water, then he would drown as well, and that wouldn't make very much sense. After some thought, the frog decided to give the scorpion a ride. And when they got right in the middle of the river, the scorpion stung the frog, dooming them both. As the frog was drowning, he asked the scorpion, "Why?" And the scorpion replied, "I couldn't resist. It's in my nature." There are many lessons to be learned from this story, but the point I want you to take away from this is that you cannot be one person in life and another when you are selling. A salesperson that talks fast and sells inferior products at bloated prices will see quick success. However, they will never have a lasting career in sales because they lack integrity and the attitude of a servant. I remember when I first started in sales at a car dealership. I was a young man that mostly did what I said, but I didn't always do it. However, I have to admit that the idea of walking that gray line as a car salesman was a little bit alluring. I don't know why. I just I don't know. It just felt kind of alluring to be able to walk that gray line. But the Bible says that lying is a sin, and that means that it's bad, even little white ones. So one day, I was at the dealership and Jack, one of the salespeople that had been selling for years, watched as a client left the store without buying after working with me for a time. I don't remember the client or any of the conversation that I had with them, but I do remember Jack looking at me and saying, "Andy, there's only one thing you have when you come into this world and when you go out, and that is your name." He exhaled the smoke from his cigarette and walked away. That interaction stuck with me from that day on. Your name is worth more than any sale. Integrity is defined as who you are when nobody else is looking. When a salesperson lies or smooth talks a client into things that they don't need or want, that hurts everyone. It causes the client to lose a little more faith in humanity because they will always find out what you did. It's just a matter of when they find out. The salesperson loses self-respect and any pride they might have in their profession. Worse yet, they might even begin to believe that they're simply a bad person and that there's no hope for them. And lastly, it hurts the profession of sales. As people become more skeptical of salespeople, people may not acquire the products necessary for them to have the abundant life that they are trying to achieve. A lack of trust and fear of being misled paralyzes them and causes them to make do with inferior products. Sales is a profession that requires the professional to constantly check that their integrity and their intentions are pure. In the Bible, Proverbs 20:23 says, "Unequal weights are an abomination to the Lord, and false scales are not good." Sales is one of the oldest and most honorable professions, and it is important that you take your profession seriously. God does. A true sales professional serves something much greater, and now is the time to level up.